What's going on, you guys? We're doing another fight breakdown. This breakdown that we're doing today is going to be one of Oscar's professional fights that he had for Chosen Few out in Madison, Wisconsin, against Peter Lo. Um, Again, striker versus striker on paper matchup that we're looking at. But we got to see the well-rounded game of Oscar and the ever-evolving game of Oscar here. And I'm going to break a few things down on the feet that I think are important. Again, some teachable moments too, as a fighter, young fighter or whatnot, but we're going to kind of get into that right away. Now, if you guys notice right away, Oscar is attacking the legs. Now, one thing to keep in mind, especially when Pete goes left lead, he tends to lean forward onto his lead leg, especially when boxing exchanges start to happen. It looks like he's looking to load up that right hand, because Oscar does have that tendency of popping the elbow a little bit and dropping the hand, just coming from that boxing background, right? So if you guys notice, when he does, there's a lot of weight on that leg. It makes it hard for him to check kicks, and that's one thing that Oscar was exploiting right away. And this was a nice little lead change off that kick. If you guys notice, this is a great opportunity for Oscar once he gets here to start firing hands if he wanted, but he just gets back to his stance and just goes back to work. Okay. Now again, Oscar's posture, if you guys notice, he's keeping his head in good position so he can stay light on this lead leg. That gives him an opportunity to check these low kicks that Pete was looking to respond with. And anytime there's an exchange with kicks, one individual has weight forward, one does not. And again, if I have weight on my lead leg, it's hard for me to lift that leg, a la I can't check a kick. So that's what Oscar was looking to exploit. He was just taking the opportunity, and now he's starting to get the reaction, right? Now Pete's starting to sit back a little bit more, which again, he's a great striker, so on the fly, he's adapting, okay? Now this is where, Oscar needs to start letting the hands go. It's just kind of going kick for kick a little bit, and it gives Pete an opportunity right there to start working his way in. And once he starts getting comfortable, he just continues to throw hands because there's nothing on that line. Everything is a round kick low. Nothing's coming down that center. Okay, now right here, this is one of those teachable moments. Okay, Oscar clearly got hit, so in his mind, I got to get that one back. But walking forward without offense, not always the best idea. Luckily, he didn't get caught with anything here. He actually was able to land his own little left hook on the break. Fires a body kick. But again, it's just kind of going back to range management, range control. Let's put something up the middle to make sure he's not comfortable coming down that line. We want to keep him at bay. Firing round kicks is great, but that's not just going to stop someone from pressing forward. Okay, and right here you can see that's what Pete was looking to do. And now he's starting to kind of throw his own kicks. And of course, if you know Oscar, you're not going to go with throwing that without him throwing one back at you. Now, this is an important aspect of the fight as far as the geography of the cage and kind of knowing where you are in the cage, okay? Oscar does a great job of kind of slowly walking Pete down. If you guys notice, Oscar keeps looking to control the center of the cage. Now, right here, look, he backs Pete up all the way by the cage. And Oscar right now knows that if he shoots in, there's going to be a wall there. So it's going to be hard for Pete to hit a good sprawl. He's just going to be able to kind of defend on the cage. So once he gets Pete here, now Pete in his mind is, we're striking. That's all he's doing. I'm striking. He's striking. Kick for kick, punch for punch. And Oscar does a great job. You can see him. He's starting to kind of fake and feint. He gets the reaction here. Right away, Pete starts to bring that guard up like he has been. And you can see he's also still thinking about the kicks a little bit too. So Oscar takes advantage of that moment in time, level changes, gets right underneath that guard, gets himself in on the hips, secures the takedown, and is able to start working on top. Now, Pete does a great job of recovering guard. Okay, he recovers guard, and on top of that, he starts to control posture. And he's looking to tie up Oscar's wrist to kind of take away any opportunity to get hit while pulling his head down, so it's hard for Oscar to fire on that left side as well. And again, for Oscar right now, you can see Pete wants to get up, so he's pushing away. So he's trying to get feet on the hips. He's trying to get space, trying to get distance. Why? He wants to get back up. He doesn't want to be down there. He doesn't like playing off his back. It's not like he went into this fight like, I'm going to pull a guard and hit an armbar. So right here, the guard's open. Closes it right back up. Oscar now posture again, guard open. Look at Pete's trying to get these frames in, especially with the knee, which he should be doing to try to get space. And Oscar keeps hip pressure. He pushes away, but watch the hips of Oscar. Brings the hips in. And now it gives him an opportunity to start working. Now Pete started to kind of look for a leg a little bit. Oscar was able to start striking, negate that, and start kind of raining down some punches, right? And now from here, again, still posturing over, looking to land some strikes. Pete is able to recover his guard once again. And again, Oscar's just going to keep rinse and repeating the same process. Look at guard is open once again. He's trying to get down on this left side hip to get this right knee in. That way he can start to wall walk up. But if Oscar can keep his head over Pete's head, he creates this shelf, which makes it hard for Pete to actually work his way up the wall right here. So if you guys notice, Oscar is starting to get above Pete. Okay, and he's passing a half guard. Now, anytime we pass a half guard for the person on bottom is actually an opportunity to pull that leg out and get back up to his feet. But with Oscar staying tight to the cage, Pete no longer has this wall behind him to work up because he has this guy over him. So now the ability to actually scoot to the wall, work up the wall, was taken away by Oscar's pressure on top and actually getting himself a shelf on top of his opponent. And now Pete on bottom, if I can't get to the wall to work up and I'm just sitting here eating punches, most of the time the only option someone has is try to build their base to their knees, which he tries to do here. But Oscar does a great opportunity of realizing that, steps over like he's transitioning to the back, and his left hand, if you can see right here, comes under the left arm and actually grabs the wrist. This is crucial because now he controls that wrist. As you can see right here, he's controlling the wrist. He's starting to establish his hooks. And it's taking away the ability for Pete to actually build a strong base because he has that wrist right there. And now with this, it's hard for him to build because once he goes to post that hand to build a base, he's going to get hit. He knows that. He's covering. And now we end the fight right here. Okay, it was a dominant performance by Oscar. He got himself into an advantageous position, but more importantly, he executed different aspects and principles on top to initiate that pass, utilizing strikes. Whenever we're on top, we have to remember that it's not a jiu-jitsu match in MMA, and having that ruthless ground and pound is going to force that person to open up. In the gym, if we're not hitting people hard enough, there's really no reaction to work off of, right? It's like on the feet. If I hit you with a clean jab, every time I show you that jab, you're going to give me a response. Just like when Oscar was landing that rear low kick, Pete started to want to check that kick. Now, Oscar on top started throwing these strikes. It makes that person put their hands in position they normally wouldn't put their hands in jiu-jitsu. Why? Because they're getting hit. And now, because of the fact that he took away that opportunity for Pete to wall walk up, now Oscar has a chance to actually force Pete to turn into him, get between him and the cage, establish his hooks, control the wrists, flatten him out, find the ground and pound, get the finish. Awesome performance by Oscar. Kudos to Pete for taking the fight and you know, showing Oscar different things on the feet as well that we definitely want to improve on, and we have. And again, just awesome performance overall. Now, if you guys can, please like and subscribe, tune in. I'm going to be doing these weekly. If there's anything during the fight that you guys saw, maybe I missed, please leave a comment, let me know. But hopefully you guys learned something from this. These are different aspects of mixed martial arts, all packed into a fight. Again, this fight only lasted, one round, but there was a lot of different elements that we were able to kind of dive into. Next week, I'll find another fight that we can kind of break different things down, different elements as well. If there's certain fights that you guys would like to see me break down too, just let me know. All right, you guys take it easy.